America! Welcome back to the channel. Today we have the Formula 1 Miami Grand Prix sprint race. Yesterday we had a sprint quali. It was actually a bit dead, below expectations. We did see both Mercedes go out in SQ2. A couple surprising performances. Number one, Lando Norris, who was P1 in SQ2 by half a second, and then finished P8, 7/10 of Verstappen. For some reason, the soft tyres just wouldn't work. The soft tyres were actually slower than the mediums, which is kind of ironic because before the stream even started, back in like practice, I was talking about how Sky Sports always mention obvious things. It's like, oh, will the softs be faster than the mediums? And I said, well, yeah, of course they are. Like, huh? And then it turns out the mediums are genuinely faster than softs. And then one of the most surprising performances of the whole weekend so far is Daniel Ricciardo in P4. Like, wow. That's genuinely unreal. P4 for Daniel Ricciardo. There's also Alex Albon has decided to take a penalty, and he's going to start in the pit lane. They went into Park Ferme, whatever that bollocks even really means, and they've changed a few setup items. So he'll be starting from the pit lane, and I think that's all. There was actually a bit of an incident going on before, about like 10 minutes ago, and it turns out that I don't actually know what happened, but Esteban Ocon came out of the pits and basically bashed into Charles Leclerc in the pit lane, and he hit one of Leclerc's tyres and might have damaged his car. So I don't think anything's going to come of it, but we might see a pre-race or even post-race penalty. So that's going to be all interesting. Let's get the Where's F1? There's F1. So I think today we're due a very normal sort of race. Max Verstappen winning by probably 20 odd seconds. What I think is going to be really interesting today is that can Perez, I think, let's be honest, Verstappen is, let me try and think. If we do 3/10, so if I do 0.3 times 19, if Perez finishes within 6 seconds of Verstappen, I would say sort of redeemed himself. And what I mean is that obviously last year, Perez started on pole, Verstappen was like 9th or 14th or whatever. And, yeah, by lap, 14, I think it was. I think he started in P9, and by lap 14, Verstappen was already ahead of Perez and then went on to win by 20 odd seconds. And that, of course, ruined Perez's year and almost ruined his career because, of course, from Miami, before Miami, you know, one in Azerbaijan, one in Saudi Arabia, second in Bahrain, fifth in Australia after starting from the pit lane. And then after Miami, some of the worst driving you'll ever see. But I think what Perez has done this year that is different is that his target isn't to win the title. He figured it out. He used his brain for 0.3 of a second, and he has finally figured out that he will not win the championship when Verstappen's there. He knows that now, and he's driving as a second driver, and he's also using a setup very similar to Verstappen's. The reason he was dog shit was because he was trying to do a different setup, and we don't know why. If you remember, every single race in 2023, Perez would always say, yeah, we got the setup a bit wrong and the balance was off. He still says it now, but not to such an extent. And he finally just, you know, went back to square one, and look at the driving he's doing. So yeah, if he finishes within 6 seconds or 7 seconds of Verstappen, I think, although that's still pretty dog shit, because, you know, it's 19 laps. Oh, fuck me. I still think that's going to be alright compared to last year. I want to see what Daniel Ricciardo can do. P4, he's got a Ferrari behind him. He's got a McLaren behind him. What's Lando Norris? If Lando Norris comes out on the mediums, I can genuinely see a Lando Norris podium. Maybe even a Lando Norris win. His medium pace was literally like, you know, top level. Like, the bollocks. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was the GOAT. Let's get the lap counters up. That isn't obviously how many laps we've got today. We have a 19 lapper, so 19 lappers doing about 1 minute 30, so you're looking at like a half an hour race. 19:01. Boom, that should update. There you go. Lovely. Okay, let's cook a looker. We are going to start in about, what, 4 minutes time? They're showing adverts on the Sky Sports broadcast with 3 minutes left. That's crazy to me. I've not watched the Sky broadcast, or, well, any, like, actual F1 in, like, ages. I just look at live timing. That RB livery is gorgeous. And I know a lot of people hate it, but even their normal livery, I think their normal livery is, like, top 2, maybe top 3 on the grid. I think Ferraris might be a little bit better. And I think the steak is really nice. But that RB, I don't know what it is. Everyone says it's complete horse monkey shit. I genuinely think that is the best livery on that grid. And now they've got that, you know, that, you know, what's it called? That sort of 70s summer, radical summer kind of vibe. It's really good. It's really, really good. So, we start in 3 odd minutes, get that formation lap round, and then an absolute 19 lapper belter in the Miami of Florida. Risk of rain, 0%. Yeesh. 0%. Not even 1. You couldn't even give it 1. It is literally 0. I don't think I've ever seen that before. 0% rain is crazy. That is a milky coffee. I don't think there's much else to mention for the next couple minutes until we get underway. I mean, Lance Stroll finishing ahead of Alonso in sprint quali. No one saw that coming, especially after his China shenanigans, if that's what you want to call it. Hulkenberg again, just showing levels, P10. Terrible. By the Mercedes, P11 and 12. So, that's gone a bit wrong. I think the most shocking performance, though, in between teammates, is it has to be Ricciardo to Tsunoda. Daniel Ricciardo, P4 on the grid. Yuki Tsunoda, P15. And of course, for those that don't know, actually, I completely forgot to mention, Valtteri Bottas got a 3-place penalty for impeding Piastri. It was really bad. But you can't, I mean, you have to blame Bottas because, like I was saying in my stream yesterday, is it really that difficult when you're driving down a straight to just look in your mirrors temporarily? And not only that, Bottas has a new race engineer that he wasn't even informed about, or he had no, like, decision over. You know, like, they've literally just got a new race engineer for him mid-season for no real reason. And also, in SQ1, Alex Albon had his lap time deleted for track limits, and because of that, for the first time ever, Logan Sargent out-qualifies Alex Albon in A quali and an SQ, well, a sprint quali, which brings the total score so far 33-1. I swear Latifi had a better record than that against Russell. Like, genuinely. You might have remembered that earlier, about 5 minutes ago, I said there was a little incident in the pit lane. Esteban Ocon went out the pits and sort of crashed into Leclerc in the pit lane. Esteban Ocon has received a 10-second time penalty before the sprint begins. So, basically, because it's only a 19-lapper, there's a very solid chance that Ocon might finish dead last in this race. But realistically, let's be honest, a 10-second penalty for Ocon doesn't really matter. I mean, he's starting P13. I mean, of course, if it was the old system, well, I'm concerned. Wait. Bro, the formation lap's like already halfway done. Oh, fuck, it's gone a bit wrong. Okay, we're good. So the formation lap had already begun. Live timing was just being a bit buggy. Can I close anything? I need to try and close some shit. Close that. Okay. Need to give my PC a bit more of a performance boost, you know what I mean? Where are they on this? I want to try and match up Sky Sports with F1 live timing so I can watch both. So, the Red Bulls, both of them, Verstappen and Perez, are starting on 3-lap old mediums. I assume the same ones they were using in the sprint quali. Everyone else, actually no, Leclerc, Sainz, Pastry, Ocon, Gaza, Zhou Guanyu, Bobo, and Albon are all on mediums. The others are on used mediums apart from Sonoda and what the fuck is a kilometer, who are on softs. 19 laps on softs. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Alright, everyone's going to line up. We're going to start. And yeah, I mean, I don't think the top is going to be very interesting. It'll either stay Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez, or it'll be Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc. What I'm interested in is Lando Norris's progress, Lance Stroll's pace, the Mercedes pace, and of course, Danny Rick in P4. So we're about to begin, waiting for the other bottom 10. Can you like hurry the fuck up, please? That'd be lovely. Like, come on, we ain't got all fucking day. Okay, you know what? I'm not even going to bother with the Sky Sports broadcast. I'm just going to leave that there. Just fuck it. Fuck you. Awful. Final car of Bottas lining up. Of course, Albon is in the pit, so he ain't going to be out just yet. Bottas is lined up, and we should be ready to go. I think the starting lights are getting ready. I'm waiting for these cars. Green light, and we are away. No jump, no position changes off the start. Hang on. Daniel Ricciardo drops to P5, already losing out to Sainz. Ricciardo's got Perez. Ricciardo's up to P3. No way. Daniel Ricciardo. Lando Norris off. Lando Norris off. Oh, shit. Lando Norris is off. Oh, what a time to be alive. That is depressing for Lando Norris. That is horrible. Lance Stroll and Alonso also at the back, and Russell. I want to see what happened to Ricciardo. So Sainz was actually never ahead of Ricciardo. Ricciardo just... Oh, Leclerc pushed Perez off. Oh. Leclerc pushed Perez off. And then that allowed Ricciardo to slip up the inside. A little through goes Ricciardo moment for him. Lando Norris going off. I want to see what happened there. There is a yellow flag, but I think racing is still going. There's no safety car yet. Gasly is ahead of... Sargent's up to P13! What? Sargent is cooking. Both of the Astons right at the back of the grid. And we have a safety car. Safety car out. Lando Norris saying he's out. He's got hit. That's a bit depressing, isn't it? Daniel Ricciardo up to P3. What a time to be alive. That is incredible. So, Lance Stroll, Alonso, Russell, Bro, that is some of the craziest position changes I've ever seen. So Verstappen and Leclerc, Verstappen pits, and Leclerc, and Ricciardo. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. They're going through the pit lane because, you know, Lando's crashed. So Verstappen and Leclerc have stayed in position. Ricciardo and Perez have swapped. Ricciardo in P3. Obviously, that's probably haunting Perez a little bit. If you remember last year in Mexico, Ricciardo finished... Didn't Ricciardo finish ahead of Perez in that race? Oh, no, Perez crashed out. I don't remember. Anyway, so Sainz has lost 1. No, Sainz is in the same. Piastri's the same. But why are they showing like these team radio things? I want to see the positions. See, oh, never mind. Leclerc didn't push Perez off. Perez actually locked up and went off, and I believe both of the Astons have crashed into each other. So we can see Alonso. That's Norris there. So Lance goes in. Alonso goes in. Alonso hits his teammate. Oh, fuck off, Brundle. Hamilton's dived down the inside and tried to go for a fucking ridiculous triple overtake. Nah, that's... I don't even know that. Alonso's turned in too late. Hamilton's gone for a dive bomb. But basically, as I was saying, Hulkenberg is up 3, Magnussen is up 5, Hamilton's up 3, Tsunoda's up 5, Sargent is up 7, I think, Russell's down 3, Albon's up 5, Alonso and Stroll both down 10, 11 actually. Rough day at the office for the Astons already. So this was Lando. So Lando just, yeah, he just got hit in the side by Stroll. I believe also, yeah, Lance Stroll is retiring from the race. Alonso is... Oh, I thought Ocon was going to be out, but no, he actually went and done his penalty. That's actually really smart, though. But I mean, it's also dumb that he can serve that penalty because it's under a safety car. That's really stupid because it means that Ocon can pit. Everyone else is under a safety car, so Ocon pits, doesn't lose position, takes his 10-second penalty, and then still is at the back of the pack close to everyone. That's just stupid. It's like changing tyres under a red flag. You shouldn't be able to do that. Just like serving a penalty under a safety car. Hamilton and Tsunoda have both... Oh, wait, no. I thought they were actually pitting, but no, it's just cars exiting the pit lane. That's actually really, like, annoying, though, because Lando was showing ridiculous pace. But he's gone. Bye! You know, 1 lap in. And, yeah, 2 drivers out, 1 of them basically out, Ricciardo's up to P3, Perez with a huge lockup going into turn 1, like, what a time to be alive. Hamilton team radio about that incident, for those that aren't watching the actual broadcast. If you're here, I assume you're not. Hamilton dived down the inside. He actually did a full, if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. Fully sent it down the inside from 36 miles back. And he said on the team radio, there was a gap, so I went for it. People are defending him for some reason. But yeah, I don't actually know when the safety... Oh, wait, there you go. I was about to say I don't know when the safety car is going to come in, but as I say that, the entire front of the field... Oh, wait, I keep forgetting to update the lap counter. Safety car's in. So Verstappen's going to lead us away, followed by Charles Leclerc, Danny Rick, Sergio Taquito Perez, Chili, Pastry, Hulk, K-Mag, Lewis Hamilton, and Yuki Tsunoda, P15 to P10. I mean, I suppose in that situation, if you avoid the carnage, you can probably gain positions. I mean, Magnus is a perfect example of that. He's gone from like P15 to P8 just because he avoided the crashes. I mean, everyone, hang on, back underway. We're going to see any moves on the safety car restart. Of course, the straight is very short, so I assume not, but we're on lap 4 now. I need to, you know, I think like tomorrow for the main race, I need to remember, update that lap counter. So, all positions stay the same. Verstappen already ahead by nearly a second, 9/10 already. What do you expect? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just bog standard for him at this stage, let's be honest. Perez also building quite a large gap to Sainz while also keeping Ricciardo on tabs. No one breaching the second gap to each other yet. But of course, we've still got... still 16 laps left. Oh, I'm going to be here for years. So Verstappen... any second now. There you go. Verstappen has already cleared Leclerc by a second. Leclerc has cleared Ricciardo by a second. Ooh, that's interesting. Now, do the safety... do the DRS rules work the same in this than in the main race? Like, will DRS be activated now? Because if it is, that means that Ricciardo's not going to have DRS. Perez is, Leclerc won't. So Verstappen's really going to go and clear off now and win by 20 seconds. So bye Verstappen, have fun. A 1:30.4 coming in for Verstappen, which is of course faster than everyone because we're all so close together. On lap 5 now, no overtakes so far. I'm actually going to do an extra notepad and write down how many overtakes we have seen since the safety car restart. So far, it's a big fat 0. Is a big fat 0. Where's this? Leclerc and Ricciardo just clearing the field. I don't know if Ricciardo made a bit of a cock-up because Ricciardo has lost 7/10 to Leclerc in that first sector. Perez is right up his arse. I don't know if DRS is enabled. I'm going to assume it is because Perez is closing in. He's 2/10 back. Is he going to go for the move? Perez goes for the move. Are they wheel to wheel? Has he got it done? Let's see. I believe Perez has got the move done. Perez up to P3. Now, we know the Red Bull is always going to be good in a straight line, but what's Perez going to do when you've got Ricciardo with DRS? He's already 5 seconds, 6/10 ahead going down the DRS straight. I think he's all right. Sainz getting quite close to Ricciardo as well. That means I can also update the overtake counter to 1. Nice one. Yes! Come on! 1! Lovely stuff. Perez, 2.5 seconds back from the Ferrari of Leclerc already. Of course, he did go for a move on Ricciardo, so that's probably why, but still, that's a crazy gap. Still no overtakes throughout the field. We are now on lap 6 of 19. The top 2, Leclerc and Verstappen, are just gone. Like, sayonara, see ya, bye. Of course, there is 19 laps. Well, actually, there's 16 laps left. No, there's actually not. I can't do maths. There's 13 laps left. So you never know what Perez can do, but he is still losing wow. Perez might lose to a place to Ricciardo here. He's lost half a second in Sector 1 to Leclerc. I'm actually going to pop up the sector times here. So Leclerc did a 30.6. Perez a 31.1. He is currently doing the same pace as Ricciardo, Sainz and Piastri. I'm wondering, has that lockup cocked him up a little bit? Because that's obviously... that's substantial, you know? Like, I mean, it wasn't the biggest lockup I've ever seen, but it's still a lockup. Yeah, Perez just losing ridiculous time to the cars ahead. Still no overtakes, so, well, still only 1 on lap 6. Welcome to Formula 1. I don't know what else to comment about, really. I mean, no one's really doing anything. Verstappen is a 31-1, Leclerc a 31-2, Perez a 31-7, which is actually, it is actually somehow the third fastest time, but it's 6 tenths off Leclerc, 7 tenths, no, it's actually 6 tenths off Leclerc and Verstappen, and he continues to lose like tenths and tenths of a second throughout Sector 1. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with Perez. Again, it's... Okay, right, I've figured it out. Let me, like, zoom this out. It's turn 8. So you know when you go through Sector 1 and you've got that really long left-hander that goes into the straight. He's losing 4 tenths to Leclerc on that corner. And you can see it again. Leclerc, 30.5. Verstappen, a 30.6. Perez, 31 dead. Fuck me. If you're wondering why I basically only speak about Perez in these streams, because I like him a lot. My favourite driver. And also, there's nothing going on. You might as well just look at that. Ricciardo's still within a second of Perez, though. Sainz within half a second. Leclerc, 1.4 behind Verstappen. You know, he's kind of cooking. You know what I mean? Like, he is cooking. Verstappen does a 31 dead. Leclerc a 31 dead. Perez a 31.5. Ricciardo a 31.6. And Sainz a 31.9. Hulkenberg does his best lap so far, a 32 dead. Tsunoda and Sargent on the softs, not doing that bad. I mean, surely by lap like 10 or 12, them soft tyres are going to be ruined. Because, I mean, it's a high-deg, low-downforce track. A revelation! Perez only lost 2 tenths to Leclerc and Verstappen through Sector 1. How do you spell consistently? Oh, there you go. Still no overtakes. We are on... Well, we're about to get onto lap 9. And there is still no overtakes to be done. Perez has finally got outside of Ricciardo's DRS. Verstappen, 31 dead. Leclerc, 31.3. Perez, a 31.1. No, 33.3, sorry. Perez finally getting those lap times down. Thank the Lord above. Hulkenberg, a 31.9. That's actually decent pace. Half a second quicker than Magnussen there. Russell does a 32.1, and that's his best lap. That's rough. That's really rough. That's like fucking shit. Lando Norris is potentially going to receive a... I don't even know what it'll be. It'll probably be a fine. Maybe a grid drop in, like, quali. But he's being investigated, and I quote, for stepping on the track on foot. Even though there's not a single car there. Fuck knows how that works. Sector 1 times are looking decent. Perez finally getting those sector times down. Thank the Lord above. No, hang on. I want to look at that. Thank you. Right, we're approaching lap 10, so we are already halfway through. Actually going quicker than I thought, to be fair. I literally said, oh, there's 16 laps left, I'm going to be here for hours. It's only 20 past 5, and we're already over halfway through. Verstappen, a 31.5. Leclerc, 32 dead. Perez, 31.3. Perez actually quicker than Verstappen on that lap by 2 tenths. Fuck me. Ricciardo, a 32.1, so actually loses 8 tenths on that lap. Sainz with a 31.8, Piastri a 32.4, Hulk a 32.4, K-Mag a 32.3. The gaps between P1 and 2, Verstappen and Leclerc is now 2.2. And then Leclerc back to Tequila Perez is 2.7. It was 4.2 last lap, so I don't know what's happened to Perez. Ricciardo, 2.5 behind Tequila Perez. Carlos Sainz, 3 tenths behind Ricciardo. Will he go for the move? No, he's a bitch. Russell, or not Russell, Lewis Hamilton maybe going for it on K-Mag. No. And so we're on lap 10 in this sprint race. And, well, 1 overtake so far. Good stuff, what you want. And like I always say, and it's quite a widespread popular opinion, you should listen to the song Chicken Attack. What? That just sounds scary. Someone should make a horror film called Chicken Attack. That'd be great. Anyway, Verstappen a 31.8, Leclerc a 31.4, Perez a 31.6. So Leclerc obviously made quite a large cock up in that sequence. He's got his lap times back down. Ricciardo a 32.4, Sainz a 32.7, Piastri a 32.2, and Hulk a 32.5. Yeah, like we always say, the reason that racing is so bad, and there's 2 reasons. 1, cars are too big and heavy. 2, they're going to tracks that have 2 overtaking opportunities. And you can only overtake if you have DRS, the car in front doesn't have DRS, and you're within half a second. That's the only way you can get an overtake done at this track. If you're in a DRS train, or the car in front's got a little bit more straight line speed, you can't get by. Like, you can't do it. It's not doable. Like, why are we going to Miami? And even the best racing tracks in the world, Spa, Brazil, Silverstone, Monza, Imola, the racing is still dog shit. Because of the reasons I just exclaimed. Like, it's horrible. It really is. Gaps between the top 2, 2.1. Perez, 2.7 behind Leclerc still. It's been like that for the last 2 laps. I don't think Perez will catch Leclerc. He's not driving horribly, though. Verstappen has a 31.3. Leclerc a 31.6. Perez a 31.4. Ricciardo a 32.3. Sainz a 32 dead. He could be going for a move into turn 1. He's gone for it. Can he get it done? No, he doesn't. Ricciardo remains in P4. He is doing a wonderful job to stay in P4 right now. What a driver. Ricciardo is back. He is here. Do you know what I mean? Like, he is him. What a driver. That chassis change obviously working wonders for Mr. Ricciardo, Mr. Avocado. Still just... 1 overtake is crazy. 1 overtake in 12 laps. I mean, I'm not counting the start because there was only really 1 overtake off that start, and it was Ricciardo getting past Perez, who locked up and then got pushed off by Leclerc. So if you want to count that, it's still 2. Everything else was due, like, with collisions and safety cars. So the top 3 all setting basically identical lap times, and, you know, the gap is still 2.2 and 2.6. Ricciardo's actually pulled us... he's actually ahead... Ricciardo actually got outside of Sainz's DRS temporarily. If he stays out of it, I'll be incredibly surprised. He doesn't. Sainz 30 milliseconds away from missing DRS on Ricciardo. What is this guy cooking? Verstappen a 31.5, Leclerc a 31.5, Perez a 31.4. You've got to imagine that Perez, he's not driving quicker than Verstappen. He's basically using more tyres. He's using more of his tyres to actually, you know, get that pace. And I don't want to jinx it for him, but Ricciardo's sitting. I mean, he might, you know, have a Ferrari and a McLaren right up his arse. But he seems comfortable. Like, he seems like he's chilling. He has the straight line speed. And, you know, he's cooking. He is cooking. We like that. think Ricciardo is my top 3 favourite drivers on the grid. And I like to see him doing well because I think the drivers I like most get, like, abused the most. Like, Perez has seen the most hate and abuse probably in F1 history last year. Maybe apart from, like, Vettel when he was dominating and shit. Or, like, Abu Dhabi 21. And then Ricciardo's received a lot of slack as well. So that's why I like them, because they're just getting unfairly fucking cyberbullied. And I'm glad that both of them are shutting everyone up. Everyone said that Perez needs to get out of Red Bull, he's dog shit. And, as I say that, Perez with a 31-1, his best lap of the race. Almost the fastest lap of the race as well. And even Ricciardo, you know, for the first couple rounds this season, people were saying he needs to get out of RB, you know, midway through the season, put Liam Lawson in. But this performance, and even in China, you know, he's demolishing Tsunoda. And I mean, after SQ1 and 2, I was sort of thinking that Ricciardo is, you know, a bit off. He was half a second down on Tsunoda in SQ1 after, like, the first 2 runs, and then brought it back and finished P4 when Tsunoda's in P15. Although Tsunoda at the moment, up into P10, and we might actually see an overtake here because we have Lewis Hamilton within 2 tenths of Kevin Magnussen. The DRS is going to open, and Hamilton gets by, and we have an overtake in Formula 1. Lewis Hamilton gets past Kevin Magnussen, and he's up to P8. I was literally just about to say that it's wait! What? Wait. What just happened? Hamilton just went from P8 to P10. Wait. What? Wait, I'm confused. So, I was literally just about to say, it's crazy how Hülkenberg and Magnussen could be securing 3 points for Haas here, as Perez sets another best lap for himself, a 31 dead. Now he's within 2 seconds of Leclerc, but I don't think it's enough. There's only 5 laps left. Can Magnussen still hold off? He is currently 6 seconds behind Hülkenberg. And now we can see what happens. So Hamilton goes for the move. Magnussen goes down the inside, and they both go off. They both go off track. Magnussen cuts across the track. Tsunoda swings one round the outside and gets past Hamilton. They both walked up. Wait, I don't even think Magnussen pushed him off. I think they just both outbrake themselves. I think they both went off. And now Magnussen has gone from P8 to P10. What is happening? Wait, so that brings the overtakes up a bit. That brings it up to 6 overtakes now. What a time to be alive. Incredible driving from, you know, Tsunoda, who somehow has found himself within the points. How has he done that then? Like, realistically, how has he got in the points? That makes no sense. But he's done it. Tsunoda up into P8, 6 seconds away from Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg, if he literally doesn't even have to do anything. He can literally idle for the next, like, 5 laps, and he's going to score some points. He's going to get another 2 points for Haas. I'm pretty sure they've already outscored themselves in 2023, and we are only 6 races in. What performance from the Haas guys as well. Ricciardo, of course, if Ricciardo does finish in P4, sorry, which is looking a bit doubtful, you know, he's got Sainz and Piastri still right up his arse. One minor cock-up, and Ricciardo's lost it. Perez sets another best lap. He does a 30.9, but Leclerc does a 31.1. So, although Perez is driving extremely well, and he is catching Leclerc, and Leclerc's catching Verstappen, unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough. I think if Perez didn't lose, if he didn't lock up and he didn't lose out to Ricciardo off the start, I think Perez could have easily got a second here. But I mean, the way he's driving right now is, well, he's currently the fastest on the grid, which is crazy to say when you've got Verstappen and Leclerc right in front of him. Hamilton closing in on Tsunoda. Magnussen's dropped right back. He was P8. And now he's P10, 1.3 behind Hamilton. Gasly right up his arse as well. Sargent in P12 as well. On the softs, 13 lap softs. He is cooking the competition as we begin lap 17 and we have 3 laps remaining. Perez has got that gap down to 1.7 as he was 1.5 tenths faster than Leclerc on that lap. He's 1.7 behind. But again, I just don't think it's going to be enough. And it's just annoying because, like I said, if Perez at one point was 4.2 behind Leclerc, and he's brought it back to 1.6, Tsunoda and Hamilton both set their best laps of the race, both doing 31.8. Ricciardo still chilling 7 tenths ahead of Sainz. It seems that the RB just has more straight line speed, even though Sainz has DRS. And Ricciardo is also getting really good exits out of important corners. Coming out of turn 8, which is of course the corner just before the first straight, he gains a tenth or two onto Sainz, and that's what helps him. And he also does the same in turn 16 down the back straight, and that's why he's not getting by. Do you know what he's the best. He's actually the GOAT. I think I can actually move the overtakes up to 7 because I believe Alonso's got past Ocon at some point, but I don't remember that one. The gaps between the entire field, though, is, well, 2.5, 1.7, 8.3, 0.7, 0.7, 5, 6.6, 0.7, 1.3, 0.9, 1.2, 0.5, 0.5, 0.8, 0.7, 0.7, and 0.8. So, although there are lots of cars close to each other, especially at the back end of the grid, still no overtakes. Verstappen is a 31 dead, Leclerc a 31.2, Perez a 31.19. So Perez still catching. He's actually losing a little bit of time to Leclerc now, actually quite a lot of time. You've got to think that Perez has probably ran his tyres dry. He has. He has just lost 7 tenths in that sector. He just lost 4 tenths in that first sector. You have to think that Perez has just used all of his tyres. Ricciardo, I think the top 3 is going to stay the top 3. The main battle now is the Ricciardo and Sainz. Sainz within 3 tenths, still can't get that move done. Also, Hamilton on Tsunoda is an interesting battle. And also, Zhou Guanyu on Sargent. I think Zhou Guanyu is going to get that move done. Or has Sargent just got enough straight line speed? We can see Zhou Guanyu going into turn 11. Can he get it done? No, he can't. Ocon gets past Alonso. Oh shit! So that makes it 8 overtakes. I would assume that Alonso has a bit of damage from that turn 1 incident. So we're on the final lap of this race now. Verstappen a 30.8. Fuck me. Leclerc a 31 dead, Perez a 31.4. So that's just ended Perez's assault, but he's still driven incredibly well this race. I think he can, hold his head high. But we don't care about the top 3. The finishing order will be Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez. The main battle is Ricciardo, Sainz, and Piastri. Ricciardo finishing P4 would be absolutely unreal. The gap is currently 0.5, and like I said, on the exit of turn 8, he does an unbelievable job and pulls a massive gap. It's currently 0.4, 0.6. That is enough to keep Sainz back. Although, has Sainz saved a bit of battery and Ricciardo has none? And it doesn't seem like it. Sainz is getting close, but not close enough. He might try and send it as Alonso pits, and he's going to come out. I don't know why you'd even pit in the first place. A bit odd. Perez still sticking close to Leclerc, but Verstappen's just gone. I don't know what he's just done, but he was obviously just saving pace. Hamilton down the inside of Tsunoda. Now, Hamilton is going to get a point for Mercedes unless Tsunoda can return it on the back straight. Verstappen comes around turn 19. Verstappen wins. Who would have guessed? Charles Leclerc P2. Very good drive from Perez. Gets P3. Ricciardo might have been sent on by Sainz around the final corner. He doesn't. Can Ricciardo take P4? He's going to do it. Yeah! Hey! What a drive from Daniel Ricciardo. Wow, that is impressive as fuck. Ricciardo finishes P4, Chile in P5, Oscar Piastri in P6, Nico Hulk gets P7, 2 points for Haas. Tsunoda loses points on the final laps of Hamilton. Tsunoda in P9, K-Mag in P10, Pierre Gasly P11, Logan Sargent P12. That's a commendable effort from Sargent. Joe Guan Yu P13, George Russell P14. Dismal day for him. Alex Albon P15, Valtteri Bottas P16, Esteban Ocon P17, Fernando Alonso in P18, and Stroll and Tsunoda are retired. Good shit. Let's be honest, that's unreal. I'd say that race was actually pretty decent. Actually alright, by today's standards. You know, Verstappen's still winning. The pace that he had is unreal. Bro did a 30.6, a 30.7 on the final lap. Unreal, but decent drive by Leclerc. Remember, he had no practice at all, and yet he comes home, qualifies P2 within a tenth of Perez, not within a tenth of Verstappen, and then finishes second in the sprint. Like I said, Perez could have easily got P2 today, and well, Perez, you know, he locked up into turn 1, went wide, lost the place to Ricciardo, and then was just losing so much time in Sector 1 trying to get past Ricciardo. And that's what cost him P2, but still decent from him. And obviously, Daniel Ricciardo, driver of the season, maybe? Probably? You know? Unbelievable from Ricciardo, and then good day for Haas, 2 extra points. Tsunoda missing out on points on the final lap. Dismal day for Russell, and of course, the Astons. And I actually want to say, like, is it just me? Or does Lando Norris always bottle it when he's got a chance to win? China, sprint race, P1, gets jumped by Alonso off the start, and then finishes, like, P8 or some shit. And then now, he had the pace to be on pole, qualified in P8, and then retired on lap 1. Corner 1. Like, when he's got the best car, he can't do it. But when he's got, like, the second or third best car, he's stellar. It's weird. Anyway, that's going to be all from me. We have the, well, the main race quali. The main race quali in, about, well, 3.5 hours time. At 8:45 p.m. BST, I will be live for quali. It's going to be a banger, because quali's always better than races, let's be honest. Thanks to everyone that tuned in, and I will see you lot later. Bye-bye.
can see